Hi, Algebra 1. This is page 225. The problem's worked out. So the first one, I know that x is equal to that, so I'm going to replace this x here. So I get 2y equal, excuse me, 2y plus 5 equals 35. That's where y used to, or x used to live. Now I'm going to plug 3y minus 27 in. Remember, you want to distribute over the parentheses. 5 times 3y is 15y. And 5 times 27 is negative 135, and it's equal to 35. Now we're going to combine like terms, and I'm going to add this to the other side. Those cancel. So 35 and 135 is 170. Divide both sides by 17. So I know my y value is 10. So remember, it's x and y. So I'm going to take this value here, this 10, I'm going to plug it in here or here. It doesn't matter which one. I like the top one because it's already set up as x equals. So that was a y, but now I'm going to put a 10 in there. So 3 times 10 is 30, minus 27, so it gives me 3. There's my answer. Number 2. First off, on number 2, there was an equal sign right here. Cross it off. It was a misprint. So now, once you've got rid of that, you know y equals that, so you're going to plug this in right here. So I get 2 parentheses equals 8x minus 16. Inside there, I'm going to plug 4x plus 8, or minus 8, excuse me. Distribute over. So on this one, if I subtract 8x from both sides, look what happens. Those cancel, so I get negative 16 equals negative 16. That's true. That means we have infinite solutions. Okay, that sideways 8 means infinity. That means there are a bunch of solutions that'll work. Okay, for this one, a lot of students will struggle on, but you have this that I'm going to replace the y with. So I'm going to get 6x minus 4 equals negative 2x plus 28. So I'm going to add 2x to both sides, start solving for x. So it gives me an 8x over here. Those cancel. Then I'm going to add 4 to both sides because I'm trying to get x by itself. And that's 32. Divide both sides by 8. Those cancel. So I'll wind up with 4. My x value is 4. Remember, my answer will have x and y. So I'm going to take this 4 and I'm going to plug it either in here or here. It doesn't matter. So I'll just pick the top one. That was an x, but now it's going to be a 4. So that's 6 times 4 is 24 minus 4. So 4 comma 20. That's my answer. Number 4. The nice thing about this one is they already told you the x value. Okay? The x value is given. So I'm going to take this, and all I'm going to do is just plug it in here. So I'm going to get 2 minus 3y equals 14. Subtract 2, subtract 2. Those cancel. So 14 minus 2 is 12. Divide both sides by negative 3. So y equals negative 4. Number 5. This is what y is equal to. So I'm going to replace it down here. Be cautious on this one because I'm going to have to distribute a negative over the parentheses, okay? So make sure this negative goes here and here. So I get 6x minus 6x plus 4 equals 4. Those cancel each other out, so I get 4 equals 4. That's true. So that means we have infinite solutions. Number 6, I'm going to take this. So I'm going to plug it in for my y up top. So I'm going to get 7x minus 8. There was a y there, but I'm going to replace it with something else. It's equal to 112. So I'm going to put negative 2x plus 9 in there. I'm going to distribute negative 8 over the parentheses. Combine those like terms, so 7 plus 16 is 23x. I'm going to add 72 to both sides. Those cancel. That's 4, that's 8, 184. Divide both sides by 23. Just want to make sure I did my math right. Yeah, 184 divided by 23 comes out to 8. So that's my first answer. Remember, this is x and a y. So I'm going to take this 8 and I'm going to plug it in to here or to here. Doesn't matter, but I might probably choose the bottom one because I'm looking for a y value. That's going to be negative 16 plus 9, so that's negative 7. So 8, negative 7 is my answer. Number 7. Notice I don't have a letter solved for. So let's get this as y equals. So I'm going to subtract 8 or subtract x from both sides. So this is going to become 8 minus x. So now this here is going to plug into right here. So I get negative 8x plus 6. That was a y, but I'm going to replace that y with 8 minus x. You could also have negative x plus 8. Distribute over the parentheses. These are like terms, so negative 8 combined with negative 6 is negative 14x plus 48 equals 20. Subtract 48 from both sides. Those cancel. Divide each side by negative 14. So x is going to be equal to 2. So remember, my answer is going to be x and y. I'm going to take this 2, and I can plug it in. That's an x. Actually, I can plug it in here, or I can plug it in here, or I can plug it in here. I would probably choose to plug it in here because I'm looking for the y value. So I just wind up getting 6. So 2 comma 6 is our answer. Number 8, again, we don't have a letter all by itself. So I might modify this top one where I might add 2x to both sides. So this is going to modify to 2x minus 9. So then I can take this 2x minus 9 and I can plug it in for this y right here. I'm going to have to distribute a negative over the parentheses. That's where y used to live. Now I'm going to put 2x minus 9 in. Make sure we distribute the negative over the parentheses. These cancel. So I get 9 equals 9. That's true. All the x's went away. So I'm going to have infinite solutions. Number 9. I'm going to modify this. I'm going to add 2x to both sides on the top. So that's going to give me y equals 2x minus 8. And I'm going to take this 2x minus 8 and I'm going to plug it in for the y value on the other equation. This is where y used to live, but now we're going to put 2x minus 8 in there. Go ahead and distribute the 6 over the parentheses. Combine these like terms. That's 9x. Add 48 to both sides. So that's going to give me 36 divided by 9. So x is equal to 4. So that's my first answer. We're going to be on an x and a y. So I'm going to take this 4, I'm going to plug it in either here or here or here. I would choose this one because I want to find the y value. So 2 times 4 minus 8. So 8 minus 8, that's going to give me 0. And 0 is a number, so that totally works. Number 10. Oh, these are some of the graphing ones. So let's see. Number 10, I have it's not x equals, it's y equals, isn't it? So I get y equals 9. Oh, wait, I'm on the wrong page. I was writing the wrong equation down. I was on the wrong page for a moment. I'm sorry, friends. So I have y equals x minus 2. And I have x plus y equals 2. So this has a y-intercept of 0, negative 2, because it's set up as y equals. I have a slope of 1 over 1. So up 1, right 1. And draw your straight line the best you can. And then for this one, this will be the cover method. So 0 comma blank, blank comma 0. Okay, so that's an x value, so I'm going to cover this up. So I get y equals 2. So 0, 2 is up here. And then I'm going to take that y value. I'm going to cover that up so I get x equals 2. That's down there. So where does it look like these cross? It looks like they're crossing right there, which looks like 2 comma 1. That's our solution. Number 11, I have y equals 2x minus 5. I'm going to flip this other one over. It was 2 minus 5x, but I'm going to make it minus 5x plus 2. I just flipped it over. Okay, kept the signs the same. This has a y-intercept of 0, negative 5. It's down there. Slope of 2 over 1. So up 2, right 1. And then I have a y-intercept of 0, 2 here. 0, 2 is right up there. I have a slope of negative 5 over 1. I'm going to go down 5, 3, 4, 5, right 1. So that crosses, it looks like 1, negative 3 is the solution to that problem. And number 12, x equals 2/3 x minus 3. 2x minus 3y is equal to 6. Okay, I have a y-intercept of 0, negative 3 here. And I have a slope of 2 over 3. So up 2, right 3. Draw your line. Then I'm going to use the cover method on this, so 0 comma blank, blank comma 0. So this is an x value, so cover that up so you get negative 3y equals 6. So y equals negative 2. So 0, negative 2 is right there. This is an x or y value, so I'm going to cover that up. So I'm going to get 2x equals 6. So x equals 3 if I divide 2 by both sides, so 3. What do you notice about these two lines? They're parallel. Do parallel lines cross? No. So I have no solution. Or you can make it a 0 with a slash through it. That also means no solution. Okay, this is the last method that I was going to teach you guys about how to solve linear equations. It's called the elimination method. When you're doing the elimination method, this is on page 223, thing you want to look for is your x and your y value on both equations on the same side. The answer is yes, elimination might be a good one for you. Okay, on this first problem, all I want to do is I'm going to add the two equations together. Watch this. 5x plus 3x is 8x. Those cancel each other out. Negative 32 plus 48 is 16. Divide each side by 8. So x equals 2. So that's my first answer. So remember, it's an x and y for an answer. I'm going to take this 2, and I'm going to plug it into either of these. Doesn't matter which one. I might plug it into the bottom one, because I haven't picked the bottom one for a while. Okay, this is where x used to live, but we know that x equals 2, so we're going to plug it in. So that's 6 plus 6y equals 48. Subtract 6 from both sides. So 6y equals 42. Divide by 6. So y equals 7. There's our answer. So it's pretty straightforward. So again, if your x and your y are on the same side on both equations, now look at this. Notice I have a negative 5y and a positive 5y. If I add these equations together, I get 8x. Those cancel each other out. 17 minus 9 is 8. Divide each side by 8. So x is equal to 1. So my first answer is 1. Remember, it's an x and y value down here. I'm going to take this 1, and I'm going to plug it in either here or here. Maybe I'll pick the bottom one. So where the parentheses are is where x used to be, but I'm going to replace that with a 1. 6 times 1 is 6. Subtract 6, subtract 6. 5y equals negative 15. Divide each side by 5. And there's your answer. Example number 8. Notice my x and y are on the same side on both equations. I have opposite values for my x. So if I add those together, those cancel out, and that gives me 3y equals negative 6, because 10 minus 16. divide each side by 3. So I get the y value. Remember, it's x comma y. All right, I'm going to take this y value here, and I'm going to plug it in either on the top one or the bottom one. It doesn't matter. I might plug it in on the top, so I get 7x plus 2. Y used to be there, but now it's going to be a negative 2. And then just do the math. 7x, 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Add 4 to both sides. Divide by 7. Done. There's our answer. Number 9. Okay, my x and y are both on the same side of the equal sign. But if I add these together, I'd get 8x plus 12y equals 23. Okay, so I have to think about this. What would happen if I multiplied the whole bottom by 5? So if I just wrote this one just again, that stayed the same. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times negative 3y is negative 15y. 5 times 20 is 100. Now, I'm not going to add my green ones together. I'm going to add together my red ones. So I get 12x here. These cancel. Equals 103. Is that right? Did I write that down right? Looks like it. Divide each side by 12. So x equals 103 over 12. I'm going to just stop there. I mean, that is going to be a really ugly one, and I'm not going to plug it in. But what we would do is we would plug in this x value to here or here. But I don't think we should do that because it's going to be a really nasty answer. But sometimes nasty answers happen in math. Turn the page to 224. Let's see if we can practice that same skill. Okay, my x and y are on the same side of the equal sign. Okay, so I might think about multiplying the whole bottom one by 5. So the top equation is going to stay as is. The bottom equation, I'm going to distribute this 5. So I get 5 times x is 5x. 5 times negative 3y is negative 15y. 5 times 20 is 100. Let's add these together. That's going to give me 12x. These cancel. Equals 132. Divide each side by 12. And I'd use a calculator. 132 divided by 12 is 6. Is that right? 2. Nope, I'm off. Let me just double check on the calculator. I should have been on a calculator first. 132 divided by 12. It's 11. Ooh, it should have been 11. That's what happens when I don't use a calculator. I make a mistake. So I have my x value I already know. Now I have to find my y value. So I'm going to take this 11, and I'm going to plug it in either to this x or to this x. I'd probably pick the first one. So remember, this is my first equation. Okay, plug the 11 in right here. Subtract 11 from both sides. Negative 3y equals 9. Divide by negative 3. So that's going to give me 9 over negative 3 is negative 3. And there's my answer. Number 5. Again, my x and y are on the same side. If I add them together, they don't cancel out. So maybe I'll pick this whole bottom equation and multiply everything by negative 4. That way I can get rid of my y value. So my top equation stays the same, stays as what was given to us. The bottom equation, I'm going to distribute that here, so that's going to give me negative 20x minus 4y equals positive 28. If I add these together, I get negative 18x, the y's cancel, equals 36, divide each side by negative 18. So x is equal to negative 2. So that's an x and a y. I'm going to take that negative 2, this right here, and I'm going to plug it back into an x here or here. Doesn't matter which one you pick. So I might pick the bottom one because I haven't picked it in a while. It's going to be the same answer regardless. So that's going to be negative 10 plus y equals negative 7. Add 10 to both sides. So remember, if you're adding 10 to both sides, that's going to give me 3. That's my answer. And then the last one we'll work on for today is this one. So if I add these together, nothing's going to cancel out. So let's get rid of the x's. So let's multiply the whole top by 4. So make sure you distribute that to everything. So that's going to give me negative 12x plus 8y equals 24. And then I'm going to rewrite this second one just underneath it. Those cancel, and those cancel. So I get 0 is equal to 44. Is 0 equal to 44? No, this is false. That means we have no solution. You can write either 0 with a slash through it or put no solution. Okay, so your assignment is going to be 225 and 226, 1 through 11 odd. So that means you'll do 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. Hope that worked out for you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.